I just remind everybody as we talk about this, there is no free speech going on.
They've cracked down on media.
Yeah, it's not only the media withdraw. BBC had a Russian broadcast that's been withdrawn out of Russia. American networks, basically, even the reporters that were reporting for morning news or evening news have all completely stopped because of the threat from Russia. 15 years. Possible sentences, and social media is basically, for all intents and purposes, gone. So there's no ability to exhibit any kind of speech about what's going on. But I'm curious, in terms of this story, we're glad that they're safe and they're withdrawn out of St. Petersburg. But do you think Putin and the Russian government will be able to keep this up? That they literally seal the borders of information so harshly that Russians do not know what's going on? Do you think that's possible?
I think, again, with technology and with the flow of information, where 50 years ago it was much easier to do this, there's going to be so much, somebody smarter is going to find a way to crack the code and to get information in, and this is virtually impossible, I think, in today's world, although they'll put up a good fight.
Even during World War II, they were able to broadcast BBC News into the German, occupied areas. So, again, with the media that we have now, radio is probably the least. And I think the issue right now is there's such great fear because they're actually broadcasting the arrests of people carrying just a piece of paper against the war. Like, if you just even make a statement and you call it war, you could be arrested. They're calling it a conflict, not a war.
It makes me very sad for the citizens of Russia and what they're going through right now, because yes, the Russian government and the person running it is, yes, doing horrible things, is infiltrating Ukraine, and also he is harming his own citizens. And at the end of the day, that's something that I don't want people to forget, is that there are people who are ignorant of what is going on. They don't know, and they're probably 100% against what's happening, and they can't speak out about it for 15 years.
It's interesting to me, and I'll just echo, the number one response that I get about Queer News Tonight's stories on Ukraine and Russia is, why does it affect us? The constant observation that I get over and over again is, this is them. It is not us here in America. And I don't think anything could be farther from the truth. First off, this is affecting the LGBTQ community in Russia. This story does it. We've reported repeatedly what's going on in Ukraine and how LGBT is standing up to the Russian invasion. The movement of millions of people, which means some estimates are somewhere between 300 and 500,000 LGBT, just because of percentages, have had to move across the border to Poland and Hungary, which is not historically, although there's no negative reporting going on in terms of the protection that's going on in the country, but that affects LGBT. And if we are myopic and ignore what goes on in the LGBTQ community worldwide, how are we any better in terms of our silence harming people all over the world in our community? And second, we're in a situation where this kind of process that we are watching has direct effect on us, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, if people are allowed to oppress, it is only a matter of time that other people in other places go, oh, well, people won't stand up or voice against this, so therefore I can do it too. And by the way, I remind our LGBTQ community, we have somebody just like that that's living 38 miles north of us.
All it takes is one.
Yeah, and I feel like these attacks, as the norm goes up that, LGBTQ can be attacked across the globe, it kind of limits what, saying like, well, you have it good here. And that perception is where our community really needs to look at it and say, until we're all free, none of us are free.
Exactly.
I'm on that page. 100%. I'm in that camp, right with you.
But moving forward, we're going to queer up trans rights.